What's going on, boys and girls? DJ Shyne, another edition of Shyne's Shortcuts. I have to apologize out the gate. I've been a bit under the weather and I haven't really been up for recording, so please excuse the delay. Of course, if you're enjoying what we're doing here on this channel, please subscribe, like the video, turn on the notifications, drop a comment, let me know what you'd like to see next. As promised in my previous video, we're cooking up something hearty today. As a major disclaimer, I am no classically trained instrumentalist. I'm a DJ who loves his records and has a deep passion for music. But having the opportunity to study music on a formal level at Northeastern University provides me an opportunity to lend some insight into some music theory. It might sound big, pause. It might sound daunting, but we can get into some things that will elevate your performance game to the next level. So if you have some time, buckle up, enjoy the ride. Let's get into some music theory. Now, I want to work hard in ensuring that everything we talk about today revolves back to DJing. For those of you who have dove into harmonic mixing techniques, this image should be super familiar. It's called the Camelot wheel. Some of you may know how to navigate the Camelot wheel based on information provided to you. But let me ask, do you have a real understanding of what you're looking at? The Camelot wheel was designed to make music theory easier to digest, replacing commonly used chords with an alphanumeric code allows for nearly anybody to understand harmony a bit better. And if you're looking to take your game to the next level, I encourage you to explore harmonic mixing more. But I thought it would be cool to understand the why. Why does a song in 12B sound amazing with another song in 1B? What is it that makes a song in 8B sound amazing with 9B? Let's start with the origin of that Camelot wheel. The only reason the Camelot wheel exists at all is because of what we know as the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths organizes the 12 pitches in a sequence in perfect fifths. But you're asking, yo, Shyne, what the hell's a perfect fifth? If you were to sing in your head, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, those notes are separated in perfect fifths. From near birth, we are entrenched in the circle of fifths. Maybe the very first song you ever knew the words to revolves around the circle of fifths. Diving in deeper, what 12 pitches? What are we even talking about? The best way to break that down is via this picture of a standard keyboard layout. This image should be somewhat familiar to you. We all commonly know the white keys, the black keys, but a closer look reveals a pattern. Notice how the keys are spaced evenly, and depending how big the piano is that you're working or sitting at, indicates how many times this pattern would be repeated. Let's zoom in. The 12 pitches we deal with most commonly comprise what's known as the chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is easy to digest when we look at standard piano keys. Each of these notes produce a different pitch, and I'm sure in your head, you can imagine what it sounds like as you run your fingers over these keys. Individually known as pitches or notes, when we combine 3 or more different pitches, we're creating a chord. We're creating harmony. And when a musician or instrumentalist moves through a combination of chords in any given sequence, we're going to call that the chord progression. Put a pin in that. All right, so check out another pattern. You'll notice that the circle of fifths and the Camelot wheel resemble a clock. You'll notice that both major and minor keys are featured. The only small twist is that they're somewhat rotated, but starting with C major, the movements are exactly the same, all centered around the perfect fifth. Now listen, there's been all kinds of scientific studies that investigate why people have positive reactions to music, negative reactions to music, and the thought revolves around how a creative might navigate their chosen pattern of chords, their own unique chord progression. Artists have creative license. There's no rules telling them which way to move, which ways to go. There are really deep studies, really smart people, way smarter than me, who can predict certain chord progressions yield certain emotional and behavioral patterns. In simplest terms, it's how you know a song is happy or sad, a pleasant sound or an abrasive one. But you can see clearly the Camelot wheel stems from that circle of fifths. A song's distinctive key signature, the root note or root chord. The song may start there, navigate away, but ultimately always comes back home. That resolution is something we as humans crave. And over the course of time, beats, measures, that artist knows how to manipulate us into feeling how he or she wants us to feel. So listen, I know I promised to bring it back to the DJ. As DJs, why not try to manipulate how our audiences feel and behave? Isn't it the exact same thing? If you know how to navigate that circle of fifths, the Camelot wheel, it could put you in control of that audience's journey. We can elicit the responses we desire by taking advantage of this knowledge. And listen, if we're talking next level, combining proper navigation through harmonic theory with a bit of technical skill and flair, this can help separate you from the pack. And think of it, as technology evolves and gives us access to really cool ways to manipulate an individual song, we could put these smarts to even better use. Let's talk STEM technology, being able to isolate vocals from instrumentals, melodies from bass lines. These provide us a unique opportunity to be our very own, very best creative. And yeah, of course, art is subjective. What's good, what's bad will be different for every listener. But as the DJ, you can definitely hang your hat on the results from all of these music times behavior times emotion, all of these scientific studies. I think it's important not to forget that a theory is something proven, evidence to support the conclusion, studied across multiple diverse sources. Every time, same result. In ways in everyday talk, I think we conflate theory and hypothesis. I'm taking you back to 6th grade science, people. Theory versus hypothesis, Google it. So I'm hopeful in some way, somehow, this deeper understanding of music theory and harmonic mixing can help elevate your performance. When I taught my DJ Academy, harmonic mixing was certainly a skill, a technique that we introduced much later into the program. We had a focus on the basics, right? So if you find yourself grasping the basics of DJ performance and are looking for a way to reach a new plateau, I'd heavily suggest you start looking into harmonic mixing. Even if you're not throwing down on the turntables, this knowledge can even help you bolster your Spotify playlists. If you're responsible for the music at your family gathering and you got to run your iPod cable into the house sound system, you can still utilize all of this knowledge. And something even as simple as that will yield better results. If there's anything you can contribute, something that I missed, definitely drop a comment. Like I always say, I'd love to know, and I'm sure everybody would too. And if there's a topic that you'd like covered in an upcoming episode, feel free to drop that in the comments below. I hope everybody learned a little something today. I encourage you to envelop this into your workflow, your performance style, and be sure to stay tuned for the next Shyne Shortcut. We out.